Chapter 37. Forgive me if I appear to downplay symptoms which can become very severe indeed. However, most day-to-day mental health care is provided to people who will not make the 6 o'clock news with violent exhibitions and extremes of mental ill health. Even in the news-making situations, we can often see evidence of warning signs, contributing factors, and essences of who that person may have been before things really went from bad to worse. This is illustrated in a story that made headlines in New Zealand in 2008. A female Somalian refugee in New Zealand hijacked an airplane on a Blenheim to Christchurch route by pulling a knife on the pilot and co-pilot. 3 people were stabbed but all survived, and the plane landed safely in Christchurch. The woman, Asha Ali Abdille, was arrested on landing. After her initial court appearance, it was revealed that Abdille had survived all manner of atrocities in Somalia and later in a Kenyan refugee camp. It was also revealed that she now lived on her own in Blenheim in the South Island of New Zealand, which is probably about as far away in culture, society and geography as it is possible to get from Somalia. Living in relative isolation with her memories and trauma from a past of rape, torture and brutality that most of us can't imagine, Abdille was an accident waiting to happen. Since arriving in New Zealand under our refugee quota system in 1994, she had amassed a criminal record that reflects tragically on her state of mental health. She was investigated by the Immigration Department in 2004 and was subsequently described in Parliament as having quite a history of mental instability, and as being an alcoholic. It was also revealed in Parliament that she was a client of the Nelson Marlborough District Health Board's mental health services, and just days before the hijacking had been assessed as being, quote, of no threat to herself and others, unquote. At her court appearance, Abdille said nothing until it was declared that she should be remanded to a secure psychiatric facility for assessment and treatment until her trial. As she left the court, she said quietly, "Thank you, Your Honour." Nobody says thank you to being detained in secure psychiatric care unless their life has reached a serious low. I couldn't help but wonder if this incident was the lengths Abdille perceived she had to go to in order to get hospital care. I know firsthand how difficult it can be to access professional help or to get someone to take you seriously and understand what you need, especially if you have a history of alcohol or drug problems and or language barriers, in which case the person may find themselves in the too hard basket of our overstretched health services. It saddened me to read that Abdille was a client of the mental health services at the time of the incident. The reaction in the media after the event focused largely upon whether domestic airline security needed to be upgraded to better protect passengers. To me, the bigger question that went unasked was that if Abdille was under the auspices of a psychiatric service at the time, how did her true state of mental health go unrecognised by service providers? If this incident and Abdille's response to her remand conditions were not a cry for help, then I don't know what is. I heard anecdotally of a man who couldn't get a response from the local mental health crisis team, so he threw a brick through a window of a psychiatrist's home and then sat down in the yard and waited for the police to come. That was the only way he felt he could get an appointment. We are left again with this paradox around mental health assessment and treatment in New Zealand, that mental health care can be very difficult to obtain, but once you're in the system, it can be nigh on impossible to get out again. Each of us can benefit from looking after our minds. As prescription rates for antidepressants and antipsychotic medicines soar through the developed world, so too do our addictions to alcohol and illicit drugs. So too do the number of diagnosable mental illnesses listed in the DSM-4, the Bible of modern psychiatry. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders lists every permutation of mental ill health that you could possibly imagine. Its inclusions, listings and use are a matter of constant controversy and debate in the psychiatric profession and amongst consumers. So too do the rates of seemingly insane violent crime in our communities keep rising and appear to get more extreme and perverse. We are clearly not doing something right when it comes to looking after our mental health, but what can we do? The best solutions are often the simplest, not easy maybe, but simple. The best solutions are accessible to all, not locked up in the mysterious annals of medical literature. I looked hard for the answers in my medical-based nursing training, but I could only find medications there. I continually find true empowerment in the wisdom of other people who have been where I've been and have found a way out.